Five Nights at Freddy's is full of death and grief, but just how many deaths are there in the series? The answer isn't as simple as you might think. Everyone has their own answer, but I assure you that no matter what number you just gave, you're missing at least one. You see, there is a secret victim that has been here since nearly the beginning, one whom we all overlooked. Hey there, I'm Trevor, and today I'll be unveiling the curtain and revealing the truth behind Afton's secret victim. Every FNAF game has its fair share of mysteries, but time and time again, we find ourselves coming back to discuss the events of FNAF 2. It may seem like this game has been picked clean, but there's still so much more to chew on. What are the shadow animatronics and what is their goal? What was the deal with Endo 02? And why are there 6 pools of blood in the Save Them minigame? Today, I'm going to present an answer to that last question. Why are there 6 pools of blood in Save Them? There are only 5 bodies. Is this one of FNAF's infamous sprite malfunctions? This was 2014, so it's quite possible. Or this could be a hint that there were actually 6 victims. But why does any of this matter? 5 victims, 6 victims, it's all the same either way, right? The DCI, or Dead Children Incident, is the second set of murders that take place at a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The first, of course, being the MCI, or Missing Children Incident. Both were committed by William Afton, and both resulted in 5 innocent children losing their lives. It's symmetrical, a pattern. At least, that's what we're supposed to think. It's very important that we only see 5 bodies in the Save Them minigame. If we look at a map of the minigame, we can easily connect all 5 bodies to 5 of the blood spills. After making the connections, we are left with the pool of blood under the table in Party Room 4. On its own, this seems irrelevant. It's the same exact texture as all the others. So what makes this pool of blood so special? Well, it isn't the blood itself, it's the table. Yes, we only see 5 bodies, but that doesn't mean there can't be any more here. The blood under the table tells us that someone died here. Perhaps they were attempting to hide from Afton, but they were caught. They never made it out from under that table, which means their body is still there, obscured from the camera's point of view. Admittedly, this is all very upsetting to talk about. Fortunately, this is just the Silly Bear game, and this is just a red splat texture. But the concept of a 6th victim is fascinating, and the implications change a lot about what we think we know about this series, especially if the DCI victims are haunting the toy animatronics. Whether or not the toys are haunted by the DCI is a touchy subject. They certainly act haunted as they attack the player and exhibit strange behaviors. The issue comes down to whether or not the bodies of the DCI victims ever came into contact with the animatronic endoskeletons themselves. As we now know, Remnant is formed from human souls making contact with metal. In the minigame, the bodies are littered around the location. The only 2 that are near animatronics are next to Toy Bonnie and Mangle, the latter of which is up and moving. To me, this implies Mangle to already be possessed, due to the proximity of the corpse. The way I see it, this was a necessary detail to include here. Mangle is 90% endoskeleton. There isn't enough animatronic casing to conceal an entire body. Since Mangle had already become possessed, Afton could simply dispose of the body and stuff the rest of the toys. Perhaps the disposed of corpse was later found, which is what started the investigation into the location. The minigame ends when William attacks you, the marionette. Oh, so close. You're not actually playing as the marionette here, you're playing as Withered Freddy, but you're following the marionette, so I got a little bit confused. Anyway, yeah, not a big deal. Moving on. We don't know what happens afterwards, but because of the aforementioned strange behavior from the toys, as well as the fact that it took at least a week for the location to be investigated, I think it's safe to say the bodies were stuffed, just like before. The scene was not left as we saw it in Save Them, and William gets away with it once again. So, the DCI had 6 victims, all of which were hidden within the toy animatronics, causing them to become possessed. The issue is, there are only 5 toys: Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Mangle, and Balloon Boy. That isn't an issue if there were only 5 victims, but where does the 6th soul reside? My mind immediately went to Mangle. After all, Mangle doesn't have 1 endoskeleton, but 2. There could be 2 separate souls within Mangle, 1 for each endoskeleton. This explains the whole gender debate. Perhaps Mangle really is both male and female because of the multiple souls haunting them. This is further elaborated in Ultimate Custom Night, where Mangle is given both a male and female voice layered atop each other.
Now I get to play take apart and put back together. You won't feel a thing.
But there's a problem. At one point, Mangle was 2 separate animatronics. If these 2 endoskeletons had become possessed and then merged to become Mangle, this would be our answer for the 6th soul. But we see Mangle and save them, and they're already 1 animatronic with 1 soul, ruling them out. I do believe the 2 endoskeletons is where the whole Mangle's gender is yes thing comes from, with 1 animatronic originally being male and the other female. However, I'm not confident that Remnant can recognize when a mass of metal parts is actually made up of 2 endoskeletons. Mangle's entire body is simply haunted by the soul of the child who can be found next to them in the Save Them minigame. Mangle is out of the equation. However, there is still one other option, and it's where you'd least expect it. Actually, in this case, it's exactly where you'd expect it: under the table. As we concluded before, William most likely dragged all of the bodies and put them into the animatronic casings, like he did years prior. The body under the table is no different. However, we know the spirits of the children are like animals. Even after death, they're afraid. They're acting on instincts. That's why they're known to be hostile toward any adults they see. For the child who was hiding under the table, the last instinct they drew upon was the instinct to hide. So when attempting to make a connection between this child and a toy animatronic, we're looking for a toy outside of the main 5 that has an affinity toward hiding under tables. That's right, it's JJ. She's the perfect match. JJ's canonicity can and has been debated. She never attacks the player or has any effect on gameplay for that matter. All she does is appear under the desk until you raise your camera. For all intents and purposes, she is just an Easter egg. But why can't an Easter egg also be a canon character, and in this case, have a fully fleshed out story? This isn't the only time we see JJ in the games either. She makes an appearance in Pizzeria Simulator as an enemy in one of the arcade games. Then, in Ultimate Custom Night, she's an actual threat, alongside Balloon Boy. Even here, she can be found hiding under a table. Oh, and she makes a small appearance in Help Wanted 2 as well. Although her limited screen time and purpose in FNAF 2 may have made her seem like a pointless little Easter egg, her continued appearance in later games suggests to me that she really was a canon animatronic at the 1987 Freddy's location. If that is the case, then it only makes sense for her to be the animatronic possessed by the 6th DCI spirit. There you have it, William Afton's secret victim in FNAF 2. Are you convinced? I find this concept very compelling as it's a simple mystery with just enough evidence to piece it all together. It isn't some timeline-breaking theory or anything, but it's a nice little detail I wanted to draw attention to. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Any and all feedback would be much appreciated, whether it be with the theory or the video itself. I'm always trying to improve. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the future.